Hello guys, welcome to Global Happenings. Today we have a trending news here for you, and the headline of the news reads: Senate President Ahmed Lawan informs security of plot to attack the National Assembly. But before we go on with the details of the news and other analysis, we'd like to encourage you to please, if you've not subscribed, subscribe to our channel. And also, if you've already subscribed, please click on the bell icon so that you can get notification. Don't also forget to like our video. All right, let's look at the news in detail. The president of the Nigerian Senate, Ahmed Lawan, has informed that he has received reports of security threat to the assembly complex, urging security agencies to beef up security at the National Assembly. Lawan revealed these on Tuesday in a statement by his spokesperson Ola Owuniyi after an emergency closed-door meeting the Senate leadership had with some top security officials. The Senate president noted that unknown and uninvited persons came or are coming into the National Assembly complex, and we felt we shouldn't take this lightly. From today, we have to find a temporary solution to support the security arrangement here. We will find a more permanent solution by the time the entire environment is remodeled, Lawan said. He also added that ensuring adequate security for all Nigerians in this time of growing insecurity was a responsibility for both the legislative and executive arm of government. Present at the closed-door meeting with the Director General of the Department of State Securities and a representative of the Defense, Police, Civil Defense, Fire Service, and other agencies. All right, that's the news, and this is a pointer to the fact that the issue of insecurity is not just for the common man, but right now it's a case that is almost affecting every Nigerian. Don't forget that if you go down our feed, you will see a video that we had published. The same complaint came from the boss, that's the leadership of the greenhouse. I'm talking about the green chambers. Talking about Biagba Jamila, he came up also and said almost the same thing, that they've seen faces of strange people coming into, the House of Representatives, and they're overly uncomfortable with it. Now it is the turn of Senate reporting the same issue, the invasion of the National Assembly by strange people. But, being that they are discussing issues that has to do with different constituencies, there is always a possibility of different faces of people coming in. And if you ask them why, what are they doing here, suddenly they will tell you they came to maybe see one of their senators and all of that. So right now, I'm just wondering how they are going to cope the invasion of the National Assembly, because the first thing I believe should be taken into consideration is possibly to have a screening room where every visitor must pass through. If it requires, subjecting them to search and all of that, it will help to cope it. But this goes to show that the issue of insecurity is one issue that affects everybody, and they must give up all they have in terms of sentiments and see how they can fight it. It all started in the northeast. Nobody seems to say anything, and now it's in virtually all the 6 geopolitical zones in Nigeria, and not just in the 6 geopolitical zone. It's now the case. It's happening virtually everywhere. Now, fairly recently, we heard about the case of the Assistant Director General to, I think, Aso Rock, also yesterday being attacked. She left her office, I think, around 8 p.m. and by 11 p.m., she was attacked, and not just attacked. According to the information, her house was also burned. Now, who are these assailants who are doing all of this? There are people who have decided to see Nigeria as a very comfortable environment to operate in, and that's why the issue of insecurity is overly important. And we've also made mention of, possible step towards solving it, which involves ensuring that every Nigerian have an identity card, which, if you insert it into at least a device, all the information of the person will be clearly shown there, because that's where the problem is coming in. We see strangers just walk into Nigeria, and sometimes you ask them, you don't even know where they're coming from. On one occasion, I had some problem with my shoes in the southeast. I had some problem with my shoes, and then I now had to beacon on one guy who was moving around sewing shoes, and the way he was talking and being overly friendly, I craved to know where he was coming from. He told me that he's actually from Niger, that because of the level of insecurity, that's why he has decided to come into Nigeria to do business and all of that. So you now kind of see that Nigeria, we are not protected. Our boundaries are not protected. These guys, anytime they can come in. So I think the issue of identity card is overly important right now, because if you have identity card, you can know who this person is, you can know who this person is, you can know what to do per time. And also, it has also been noticed that these bandits have decided to leave the roads. Before now, much of attack that we've been hearing of were cases in the northeast, and also mostly on the road as people are traveling. There was an allegation by one Aisha Yusufu when she made mention of the fact that this man was attacked, that the Minister of Transport, on his way, I think, back from going to Kaduna, by train, that he was attacked. Though Amechi came out and debunked it, that there is no such thing, that he was not attacked and all of that. Now, you realize before now, the concentration was more on the road. That's when you see all these bandits attacking people and all of that. But right now, it's now they're leaving the road because they are overly comfortable. And here we have the security agencies, but unfortunately, they're not protecting Nigeria. And that's why the issue of, having regional security outfit is overly important. And not just being important, we Nigerians must make sure, since we've seen it as our last resort when it comes to security, the police are doing their own duty, the military, they are doing also their own part. Now we are getting these guys involved. Nigerians must make sure that they are fully regulated, so that tomorrow they don't end up bringing menace to the society. That is also important. Now, bringing them in will help quell the crisis, though I know that so many people are not in support of it. Fairly recently, we had one of the special assistants to the president, who had been an senator, to senator in Akwa Ibom State, said that regional security outfit is a threat to Nigerian survival, which is, for me, that short-sightedness, because it's not a threat, just that we're trying to see how we can enhance our security. The police and these guys, the military, they are doing their best, but their best is not good enough. So right now they're getting regional security outfit involved. We've got to look for a way, because for these guys to be so threatened, threatened to the point that they have to have an emergency security meeting, it therefore means it's real. It's overly real. Now, fairly recently, not really recently, last year, when these guys came in, what do they call them? These supporters of IMN, that's supporters of El Zakzaki, when they started going on rampage in Abuja, they attacked the National Assembly. They attacked the National Assembly just to show you that the security there is not good enough. If things are not done rightly, I'm afraid we might wake up one day and hear things that we ordinarily did not want to hear. Because if there are no screening devices that allow people to go into the National Assembly, if security is not beefed up as expected, one day somebody may walk in there with a gun or even with a bomb, and sporadically would shoot everybody, and we'll end up hearing stories of our senators dying and all of that. Don't forget that even in Kaduna, a big church, if not for their security alert and having all the CCTV cameras everywhere, we would have lost a reasonable number of people in Kaduna State when they attacked the church of Bishop David Oyedepo. I'm talking about Living Faith. But the young man was apprehended, and it was in the process of him trying to do what he trying to maybe put one or two things in the explosive device so that he can detonate it. But thank God that before he will, blow down the environment, there were security operatives anyway, and also security intels and security devices were everywhere. But here in Nigeria, we do not even, here in our country, that's looking at the Nigeria as a whole, we do not have those devices in place. How can you, for example, why should they be overly scared about the issue of insecurity if they had those devices? At least there should be CCTV camera everywhere in the National Assembly. Not only in the National Assembly, we can also have it even on our streets. These are some of the ways that we can combat this. Now, this guy, yesterday we reported the case of the Inspector General of Police, Mohammed Adamu, when he had a meeting with some group of person who came in to pay him a courtesy visit. I was talking about them helping him out in the issue of insurgency. And the next thing Nigerians were asking, why should it be Algeria that you are demanding for them to come and help us? When you know too that they have the issue of insurgency in that environment, we should try to, first of all, make use of our expertise first, put the required things in place. If you don't put those things in place, why won't we always be vulnerable? These are some of the issues that must be looked into deliberately so that we won't one day wake up and see a country that we do not even recognize again, where, bandits and bandit terrorists, insurgents will be the one ruling our country for us. It's really a serious issue that must be looked into severely. All right, that's where we're going to leave it. I would like you to go to our comment section. Let us interact. What's your position on this issue? Do you think that this is a wake-up call to all and sundry in respect to insecurity, now that they have gone as far as showing their faces even in a national